Finance meeting, we have with us this evening committee members Jeff Hallinan and Tom Duval, as well as Auditor Mark Bidwell, the Mayor Michelle Blanton, and a couple of members from the public. If we could please do a roll call.
Hedges.
Here.
Hallinan.
Here.
Duval.
Yes, here.
Thank you. Melissa sent out meeting minutes from our last meeting, which was June 25th. Are there any comments, questions, or corrections from those?
Move to approve as noted.
All
I'll
right.
second that.
Motioned by Tom Duval, seconded by Jeff Hallinan. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. So we will go right into business. Melissa, can you please read the one and only piece of legislation that we have?
An ordinance amending the annual appropriation ordinance in the general fund 101 capital improvement 0.4% income tax fund, 206 safety forces 0.5% income tax fund, 227 justice reinvestment and incentive grant fund, 260 waterworks operating fund, 808 and sanitary sewer operating fund, 909 of the city of Circleville.
Thank you. So as always, this is appropriating funds from different sub-funds that we have. With the information that was sent out, we received one of the auditor's helpful charts that goes line by line into what fund and what the total is. This is just over $1 million in appropriating funds. Mark, do you want to speak to the legislation that we have?
Yes, thank you. Yeah, as I was pulling this up, I realized that I sent out the file that actually was not finished off. So you might not see some of the explanations there on the right side. So I will try and clear it, some of that information there, fill in some of the blanks. But first off, out of the 101 general fund, we have the purchase of the ODOT property that it was spoken about at a previous council meeting. We are setting aside the funds to be ready to be able to make that purchase if council goes ahead with that. And that is being pulled out of several funds, with the general fund taking the brunt of it of $500,000 between the general, from the police department and from the service department, because those are going to be the departments going to be using that. Otherwise, there is so to kind of go through each one, there's a request for contract software for $50,000. There was a bill from 2023 that was paid in 2024 for $63,000. That's actually going to be paid again in 2024 instead of paying it the following year. So that's why we need the money this year, but the money was left over from last year. So we're basically trying to get back in order on that. And this is for the police department. Also for contract equipment, something very similar. There was a bill from 2023 of $75,000 that was paid in 2024. Again, that money will be going back through. So not quite needing the entire amount that was paid in 2024, but very close. The department paid email, internet, IT, cell, and radio. There's been a lot of expenses increased, and we did not put enough funds in there at the beginning of the year to cover it for the IT. Cell service also went up significantly. So with that we are needing an additional $80,000 to cover that for the remainder of the year. We may not need it all, but we're making sure we have enough to cover it for the end of the year. Next, we have two purchases for the law director. I'm sorry, one for the my office. Again, same thing. A bill was paid in 2024. $10,000 was left over. That money needed to be reappropriated for this year, so we could spend that money this year. And then finally, the law director is asking for $9,000 for temporary help until a new assistant director can be hired. Moving on to Fund 206, we are setting aside $100,000 there again for the purchase of the ODOT property, and that's their portion of that purchase. Next is 227. The acting chief of police asked for some administrative software. It's going to be $15,616. That's what this request is for. I have more information if you want more details on what exactly that software will do, but I don't have it pulled up here. Next is 260, which is for the municipal court and for the probation department. They received $75,000. They will be receiving $75,000 next week or so. And basically this will be expending that money for the remainder of the year for their personnel and for their drug testing. And finally, for 808 and for 909, both of that is $100,000 from each one. And again, that's the final amount for the purchase of that ODOT property, which will bring that to the $800,000 between all the departments. So a lot of explanations there, but I did want to make sure that we were clear because this is a lot of money that we are moving around. So.
Thanks, Mark. So a couple things to clarify. Like I said, this is in total just over $1 million. Of course, 800,000 of that is appropriating funds to potentially purchase the ODOT property. One thing I want to clarify is moving this forward to council is not confirming the purchase. It is just moving the funds to, if council decides to purchase that property. If for some reason that didn't happen, those funds would obviously be turned back. Mark, one question I had for you was the shortfall of 100,000 in 101 for the email, internet, et cetera.
Yes.
I'm assuming that shortfall was corrected for the budget for 2025.
The budget for 2025, well, I mean, it's because that was the revenue budget. It would show in there, but I mean, we're going to be doing the expense budget, and that will definitely be appropriated for the expense budget going into 2025.
Yeah, just if they were increased costs, it's like those
Yes.
obviously aren't going to go down.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, those were the only questions I had. Jeff, Tom, questions for you?
None.
None from Tom, none from Jeff. If there are no further questions, is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to forward this on to council on August the 6th with recommendation for approval.
So we have a motion on the table by Jeff Hallinan,
Second.
seconded by Tom Duval to move forward to council on August 6th. Melissa, can we please do a roll call?
Hedges,
Yes?
Hallinan.
Yes.
Duval.
Yes.
Thank you. Any other old or other business?
Motion to adjourn.
If just real fast, we will announce we are having another finance meeting next Tuesday before the council meeting. That will be in council chambers at 6:30 on Tuesday, August 6th. And there was a motion by Jeff Hallinan to adjourn, seconded by Tom Duval. We are adjourned at 5:22.